make a video interesting for the viewers.
Went down to the local homeless shelter and picked me.
Right.
Señor, I'm at the Home Depot.
Wow. So here we are. We are getting ready to bolt the engine back up to the transmission. Got some bolts getting clean. Got my buddies over here helping me out. Thank them very much. And they've made this process very, very simple for me. I've basically just been hanging out. And they've been doing everything, so that's cool. The engine bay, pretty much ready to go. Got the coils back in. And just everything kind of pushed out of the way so that we can drop this thing in here. I'm going to pull the hood off, and hopefully this is just a easy, simple drop in. But we'll bring you guys back for some of that. So I think first things first, let's get the hood off. So 10 millimeter, where that is right here. You're good? Oh, okay. This could be good of an angle. All right. So then maybe just grab a couple of those shorter bolts. Thank you. Markers are right here. Just grab one of the bags off the table there and going to be in my way. This, nothing else is in the way.
The bolts I'm going to throw in are
Can you guide it? Can you see?
yes.
I got the weight. You just guide.
You're gonna want to get your.
It looks like
fingers
it's
out
got to
of
go down.
This has got to go right there.
Yeah.
You need to get your fingers out of there. Got it?
Pull that connector out. That doesn't look right. It's not. Justin, can you grab a 14 millimeter socket? Okay, rest.
Give the wrench to on this.
The wrench should be on the ground right there.
Oh. Can you pick up slightly on the tail?
Not going down.
Can you check the video to make sure this is getting in the shot? Okay, I think that's probably enough to do that part. Where's that bolt at?
All the transmission bolts were right there.
Is it all out?
Maybe we don't have one for that spot.
Alright, let's make one more. Because pretty sure I ended up using the one for the starter right now. Alright. So this is going to be annoying, but not necessarily a problem. We'll just have to be careful. You guys come forward. Go ahead. Yeah, and then we'll just basically, I'll have to twist that up a little bit. Yeah, I think what I also want to do is now that the transmission's on there, I think what we'll do is, of course I'm right over my car, so I need to actually scoot that way. So that'll probably have to come down or something. And
Where do you want me to come down now?
just a little bit, just so that we can back up a bit, because I'm too close to the car. All right, a little bit more. There. Now, Jeremiah, would you do me the huge favor of pulling this
Rotator stopper?
Yes. Pull it out. We'll see how far this wants to come down. Then lift up on the transmission or on the engine a little bit. And then just keep going until we're floating. Thank you kindly. Yeah, me too. And then just keep going so we can clear that thing, and that way I can get the stand detached from Hey, look at that angle. And we're suspended. Now, if all goes well, this doesn't snap off. Oh, okay. So, whatever flat size that is. All right, Justin, over here. I'm going to loosen these and just try to catch them.
Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. She got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.
the way I see it, you have to really be looking to find anything wrong. I mean,
Let me point this out right here.
I was just going to point at that, except for that part.
Which is plainly obvious. And I had plenty of room by the new fuel filter. I had all the room in the world.
That's a lot of room.
Yeah.
So much rooms.
Cool.
Oh, you already hooked these up? No way. That was quick.
On that side, anyways. Woohoo!
Yeah, no. When I got over there and got closer, I could see it there.
When you do this,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's there.
Absolutely.
From there? Okay.
Looks good.
All right.
I was impressed.
Okay, when you do what? When you get your face in it, it's there.
Yeah.
And you can't really do anything.
Do that again while I'm behind you.
No, that's the third time is enough. It's enough.
Well, we got the engine back in the car. Got most of the stuff attached. Got some heat shielding, got the oil catch, got some spark plug wires going back in. Now it's time to figure out radiator situation and getting the front bumper back off. There's a lot left to do here, but a lot has been done. Got the wiper motor back on, so now we got to throw the hood on, and then we can start buttoning things up for the night and get back to work tomorrow. Go. Well, it's another day, a windy one, of course, and now it's time to start figuring out this whole radiator situation here. So I have the new oil cooler installed, and I think it's pretty close to how I want it to be. I got most of the oil leaks kind of resolved, but now we got to get this radiator in here, so I have to have that ready. So I need to put the condenser in as well, but I think what I'm going to do is just wait, because I got to remove the whole front bumper anyways, and I need to get the car at least mobile. So going to work on just the radiator at the moment, and then I'll go ahead and just get the mounts unbolted and stuff when I need to put the condenser in. So here's the condenser we're going to use. Parallel flow dealy. I do have all the stock lines, and so I'm hoping I can just weld up some new lines or fittings if I need to this to go with my air conditioner. But got the cradle. I don't have the stock one anymore. I don't know what I ever did with that, unfortunately. Back in the day I wanted a full-out race car, so I removed everything that was not full-out race car. And so I never had power steering on the car, and that bracket is now really hard to find. So I have a power steering bracket, and I went ahead and painted it. Took care of the radiator brackets. They actually didn't look too bad. I was pretty surprised. There was a little bit of surface rust in spots and a little bit of not perfect paint, so I just kind of peeled back to the rust and got that cleaned up and threw some paint on real quick. Again, that high temperature stuff. So I'm not sure how I managed to do this, but I have a couple of tweaked fins, and that just drives me nuts, honestly. I hate that. But going to remove or borrow this fan. I've already damaged the shroud, so that's good. But it seemed to work okay. It's not a very high power fan. It's just an eBay special, and they didn't have much of the mounting points correct, so I had to break off their tabs, and then I just kind of, peanut butter welded this one on here. I did get some decent connectors. These are some high amp amp style connectors on here. These are meant for, I believe, oh gosh, I want to say they were 40 amps or 50 amps, something like that rated. So these should be more than adequate for this tiny little guy, because this fan doesn't draw a whole lot. It barely took care of the cooling capacity when the turbo wasn't even fully hooked up yet. So that will be the next project, but for now, like I said, I just got to get this thing mobile. So we will start putting some brackets on and start getting this thing put back into the car. Well, I got the radiator mounted back in there. All the hoses hooked up. Started running some of the different things that I got to connect here. Got the throttle cable kind of mounted over on the one side. Still need to do something with this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I kind of bent the bracket. I'm probably going to mount it like right there. Be out of the way, it'll hold stuff. I don't know, we'll see. Still need to put the connector on the harness side and go to my relay. I have my methanol and my fan controls right here, so they're available when I go to do that. And I have my relay. That's for my fan at least. So, making some progress. Now we need to put the exhaust on. Well, we got most of it hanging up underneath here now, which is pretty cool. I am missing a couple of the rubber pieces, metal inserts, so I took them off to go ahead and order those pieces that I'm missing and just replace them. I'll just get new ones. But and the one on the other side is some funky little rubber deal. I'm not even sure where I got it, but it's on there wherever it is. There it is. Some weird guy. So here's kind of where I'm at. I got about a 10-inch or so gap between the downpipe and this pre-silencer. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of taking this to an exhaust shop to have somebody else do it, I think I'm gonna see if I can mess it up myself, because I still have my exhaust, this guy, just hanging here, and I think it would do okay. I'm not entirely certain that there would really be much of a problem. I think what I could do is just take this piece here, come down a ways, chop it off, and as long as I can get the cut straight, then I think I have a fighting chance, honestly. And if not, then well, I'm not going to use that exhaust anyway, so it was basically just going to be scrap metal. So shoot, I mean, we got this TIG welder here, we got this junk. I think we're going to try it. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got this bad boy set up in here. Turns out that this flange up towards the downpipe is actually a slightly smaller piece than the other side. So, as much as I want to use the straight part, I'm going to have to use this flange here, because it's the one that actually matches up to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it like up here, right? But it's got this curve. So I'm going to see if I can make something work out of this. And if it just doesn't look like it, then what I will end up probably doing is cutting a chunk out of this, welding to that, and then welding that piece to the V-band clamp. So I guess wish me luck. Hopefully super old intergram machine tool thing 201 Hopefully this thing does the job. I've had this for a while and I haven't had much luck with it, but I did just adjust the heck out of it, so hopefully it, you know, functions a little better now. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'll give her a little spritz here. I'm going to turn it on and get it on the belt. It's already sounding pretty good. Doesn't sound worrying at all. And that's the problem I usually have. Alright, I tightened the belt quite a bit. Let's see what happens this time. Okay. Seems to be doing the thing. Well, that's probably a good sign, I suppose. Let's just hope it cuts a straight line. So it actually kind of just started about taking off, which is pretty cool. But then I noticed that this bolt's here, so I'm gonna whack that off with the old flap disc here. This thing's finicky. Now it's caught on this piece here. So I gotta move this back a little bit. And then we'll clear. Okay, let's try it again. So now we're actually still hitting, so I got to bring it out further. I didn't bring it out far enough the first time. It's got to be out about there. And maybe even a little further. Right there. Okay. Turned itself off, but it definitely didn't finish the cut. So, what can I do about that? Let's see here. So now what's happening is the auto off button here, this guy, is hitting the off button too early. So I'm going to just remove that because I don't need it auto off, but I do need it to continue to cut. Okay, round 7. Round 27, I think. See what happens. All right. Made a decently straight cut, I guess. Doesn't look too terrible. I can work with it. So now I gotta go mock this up and see how much I actually have to take off and what I have to do here. So quiet,
Really quiet. But you know it's there.
right? Got a little bit of exhaust leak where the EGT probes are going to go. Got to put those in. Oil pressure 72 at idle. 2,000 RPM idle though. Yeah, you can hear those two little EGT probes just... she does smoke a little. Okay. Well, she's almost a runner again. Woohoo! Well, it's another day, extremely hot already, and we got some things kind of laid out. I got the EGT probes in, so we got the that little short pipe piece that I needed from my down pipe to the rest of the exhaust made up, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But from the first start, I had forgotten about those, and they were obviously exhaust leaking, kind of making some a little bit of racket. So I was like, no, let's just go ahead and shove these EGTs in there before we really continue. But I'll show you guys the little pipe that I made. Don't be too harsh on my horrible welds. But anyways, so this is it. Worked out pretty good. I was actually pretty happy with it. I did okay on some of the welds, but I burned through in a spot, so I had to like stack up some stuff just to get it to do its thing. But it's not terrible, I guess. It's not the best, but it'll hold and it doesn't leak, so that's cool. A lot of practice needed, unfortunately. So yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys this and let you guys hear what it sounds like. So here we are in the cab, And turn the key here. I went ahead and figured out the fuel pump thing, and I actually turned my, what's it called? The prime, I guess, for the fuel pump up. I guess is it EFI relay? Fuel pump on and off. So, where am I? There it is. So I set it to 15 seconds. That seemed like a decent amount of time to prime the fuel system and let the O2 sensor kind of come online and do its stuff and everything. So once all that stuff starts flashing, we should be pretty much good. So let's give it a cold start. This is the first start of the day, so it's pretty hot out here already. And that click no start issue. Oh yeah, I don't have my bypass air control valve on. Oh, I do. None of that's tuned yet, so I turned the idle back down last night too, because she's idling a little high, or was, and so I'm gonna do just a slight adjustment here. Let's see. Post crank idle. I could probably do probably like 20, something like that. Let's see what that does. Okay, yeah. It's probably not enough. Let's do 30. See what that does. It's really just not enough, huh? 40. Oh, shoot. You know what? I have it blocked off. That's why this is happening. Let's go back down to 10. I had forgotten because I was trying to troubleshoot why I couldn't get spark, and I thought I had just had a serious vacuum leak, so I stuffed that into the bypass air control. And it should be very, very, very responsive now, because the before I had a little air filter on there, and it seemed to block enough air that I actually had to turn it up a little bit. So with that off of there, let's see what happens. There she comes alive, and 10 seems to be about appropriate. It's 1500 RPM idle. That's not terrible. Let's go to our little gauge page here. Got about 70 pounds of oil pressure. EGT's doing their thing. I'm not sure if I put them in the correct spots, because those should be pretty close. She's really quiet. It's surprising. A little smoky, but she seems to clean up when it's fully warmed up, but it's also running super rich. Yeah, still got some stuff to do. But yeah, that's her. I'm gonna go ahead and rig up a fan real quick, so I'll come back in a second. I just gotta plug in a wire to this and hook it right onto the battery, just so I have cooling. Not very loud. Much quieter than it used to be.